This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to the AWS training program. And as part of today's class, we will be talking about Python basic concepts. Yesterday also we talked about Python basics concepts. Like we started with Hello World program, we talked about variables, we talked about functions, how to pass arguments to the function, how to provide some default value for the functions. And we also talked about a for loop, how to iterate over a for loop, how to do something multiple times. So now going forward, we will be talking about few more basics concepts of Python. So let's start with the agenda for today's class. So the agenda for today's class is break and continue in for loop. So that's a typo, it's like for loop. What is a while loop? We'll talk about it. If else conditions, logical operators. We'll talk about array. We'll talk about two-dimensional array, string functions, and dictionary. All these things will be talking about theoretically as well as practically. For your easy convenience, I have taken screenshot for all the possible uh, scenarios, but as along with the screenshot, I will provide the actual program as well, so that you can play around it and you can modify this and you can see different type of execution behavior. Okay, so let's talk about break and continue, and I will open my AWS console. We'll do it practically. So I will open my AWS console. On the left side, you can see that I already have few programs written: break and continue, dictionary, for loop, functions, if else, and all these things, right? I will not be opening those programs. Those programs I can share with you through Google Drive. I will open only Hello World, and we will keep on doing everything in this program only, one by one. So I'm talking about for loop, right? So when you are doing something multiple times, sometimes there is scenario that you want to skip something. For
Sorry,
example,
Neeraj, can you please zoom it a bit?
yeah, that makes sense because font size is very small. Oh, why it's only zooming this window? I want to zoom the entire page. Hey, only this window is zooming. Just give me a moment. Let me try. Even function key is not working. I want to do F11 so that it can show the bigger window, but even that's not working. Okay, I hope you can see now, right? It's better than earlier.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so I was talking about for loop. For example, you have to check every content of a directory. That directory may contains few files and few subdirectory as well, right? You want to perform some operation on the files only. Whenever you encounter a directory, you just want to skip it. So skipping means you want to continue. That means continue the for loop and don't do anything for this one. So let's try with a for loop and then I will explain. So we will take one for loop, and what I will do is I will do for I in range. I will give 1 comma 10. Okay, and what I want is I want to print I. That's all. That's my purpose. So what it should display is it should display 1 till 9, because this last number is not inclusive actually. So 1 till 9 it will display. Let's try that. So I will go to my Python code directory and I will run this Python and hello world, right? Yes, you see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, it's working fine. Now let's come to the concept of continue. What I want is, if I will put if condition, if I is equal to 4. Okay, when you are comparing, you put double equal to. When you are assigning the value, we put single equal to. So here I am doing the comparison. I am checking whether the value of I is equal to 4 or not. If I is equal to 4, then I want to continue. Continue means whatever else after continue, whatever else is there here, whatever lines you have written, those will be skipped. It will not execute that. It will, from here itself, it will go again in the for loop for the next execution. So it will skip basically. So in this case, what I'm expecting is it should display 1 2 3. When the 4 will come, it will continue, it will not print. When the 5 will come, 5 6 7 8 9, it should print. So let's see, we'll execute again, and you can see now 1 2 3 is printed. When the 4 came, it continued, it did not do anything. And after that 5 6 7 8 9. And a real example I have given is that you want to access all the content of a directory, but you want to access only files. Whenever you encounter a subdirectory, you want to skip it, you want to continue that, you can do that. Or we can do one more thing. Suppose I will say, if I will put some condition like if I is equal to let me do one thing, I percentage 2 is equal to 0. I will tell you what's the meaning of that one. You see that I percentage 2 means you divide the I by 2, and whatever is the remainder, if that is equal to 0, then continue. If not, then you can do this, then you can proceed further. So the very first value of I is 1. 1 divided by 2 and remainder is 1, which is not equal to 0. That means it will go to the 7th line and it will print. That's why 1 is printed. When the 2 will come, 2 divided by 2, the remainder is 0, and this condition is true. In that case, it will continue. That means it will not go further. So you can see here 2 4 6 and 8, those are skipped, and 1 3 5 7 9 is not skipped, that is printed. That's the benefit of continue. Now there is one more concept, break. Suppose you are searching for something, you are searching for a specific file in a directory, and there can be 100 directories in that, 100 files in the directory. As and when you will find that file, after that you don't need to search further, right? Suppose you find the third file is the file which you are looking for. After that, there is no point of continue the for loop till 100. That's not required. So in that case, we use break. I will show you that. So I will put break condition here. Instead of continue, I will make it break, and I will put some other condition. I will say I is equal to 5. Okay, that means I'm looking for something. As soon as I will find that, after that I don't want to continue my for loop. So it should, 1 will come, it will see that 1 is not equal to 5, it will not break, it will print 1, then it will print 2, it will print 3, it will print 4, it will, once the 5 will come, right, it will break. And after that 6 7 8 9, that will never happen, because for loop is finished now. Let's try that. So I will do Python, my program name, and you see that it is displaying only 1 2 3 4. After that, for loop is finished, because whatever I was looking for, I have found that, and I don't need to continue. So I will give you the example, real example, so that you can understand where exactly we should use continue, where should we use break, where exactly we should use for loop and all. So with this one, we are done with break and continue. In case you are having any question till now, you can ask me.
No, Neeraj, it's clear. Please continue.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one, that is while loop. Okay, for loop we execute when we are aware that we have to do something these many times. Like 10 times, 50 times. But sometimes we don't know how many times I need to repeat something. It depends upon a situation. For example, I'm reading a file and a file has few lines and I am looking for a particular detail. If the line contains some detail like suppose like product ID, right? So till I'm not getting the product ID, I need to iterate it. But which line contains product ID, I really don't know. So I don't know whether I need to iterate it 5 times or 10 times or 50 times. So it is condition based. It's not a fixed number that I need to repeat something 10 times. For such condition, we use while loop. So I will show you how to do that. I will take some value. Suppose counter is equal to 1. Okay. I will put a while condition. While counter less than 10. Okay. And what I will do is I will do something. I will print I star 2. I want to do this. Okay. So while the counter value is less than 10, this will keep on going. As soon as counter value is not less than 10, then this while loop will break. Why it's giving error? Oh, not I, my mistake. Counter. Okay. But at the same time, you think that the first counter value is 1, the condition will fulfill, right? Condition is correct. It will print counter star 2. Then it will go again in the while loop. The value of counter is still 1. It's less than 10. It will again display. It will keep on going. That means it is an indefinite loop, which is not a good idea. It will keep on going millions, billions, trillions. So what I will do is after printing, I will change the value of counter. I'm making counter is equal to counter plus 2. That means first time the value of counter will be 1. It will do 1 multiplied by 2. That means it will display 2. And then I am changing the value of counter from current value plus 2. That means 3. Now it will come back to the while loop. 3 is less than 10. Yes, that's true. So it will display counter multiplied by 2. That means 3 multiplied by 2. It will display 6. And then the value of counter will be, you can say, changed. It will be incremented by 2. But one scenario will come when the counter value will cross your value 10. That means this cannot enter the while loop, and then while loop will finish. Let's try this. So I will run this. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay, let me cancel it. My bad. How to cancel? Okay, cancel. Okay. So I told you, right? If I will not increase the value, then that means it's an indefinite loop. It will keep on going. So it was continuously displaying 2. So I did not save that. I forgot to save. So I will execute now again. And you see now. Initially, the value of I was 1. So it displayed 2. Then value of I is 3. It displayed 6. Then value of I was 5. It displayed 10. Then a value of counter is 7. So it displayed 14. The value of counter become 9, which is still, the condition is still true. It displayed 18. And after that, the value of counter became 11. And when it will come to the while loop, that condition is not true now, not longer true. 11 is not less than 10. That means now the while loop is complete. It will not go further inside your while, like this one. So one example I have already given to you, right? You are looking for something, and as and when you will find it, then you will come out. So you can achieve that with the help of for loop also, because you start the for loop for a big number, and when you find whatever you're looking for, you can break. That you can do. That's one way to do it. Another way is you can do the while loop. In that case, as and when this condition will be false, this will be finished. Okay. So this is while loop. In case you are having any doubts on the while loop, you can ask me. Any doubt, Srikanth?
No, Neeraj.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one, if and else. Although we already talked about if condition, I put some condition like if I is equal to 4, then continue or break something, right? But let's take a proper example of if else. So suppose I am taking a variable name is equal to Neeraj, okay? And I will put a condition if in the bracket you will put name is equal to 2 times because I'm comparing Neeraj, right? Put colon. I want to print. Suppose I will print something like yes, okay? Else I will print no. Okay, so in this case, because the value of name is Neeraj, that means we are expecting that yes should be printed. Let's check it out. So we'll execute our program and you can see that it is displaying yes. If the value of name I will change, I will make it Kumar, right? This time your if condition is false, name not equal to Neeraj, right? Then it will go into the else section and it will display no. Let's check it out. You can see that. This way you can do if and else. Sometime for else side, we want to put one more condition. For example, if this one, okay, let's take one more variable is equal to 32. Okay. So what I'm doing is if name is equal to Neeraj, print yes. Else, not else, there's elif. Elif is like shortcut of else if. Elif, then put one other condition. I will say age is equal to 32. Okay. So if name not equal to Neeraj, I mean, if that condition is not true, it will go to else if. Then I'm checking another condition. If age is equal to 32, then I will display, of course, yes. And now I will put else, or you can, if you want, you can put one more if else. I mean, elif. So I will put else now. This is used when you are doing multiple checks. For example, you want to find a criteria for a particular employee for the promotion. For example, one criteria may be like what is total experience. Second criteria is like what is total tenure in this company. Third can be some other like certification, or there can be something, right? So you check multiple conditions. If this condition is true, then you will promote. If this condition is true, will promote. If this condition is true, will promote. And finally, after checking all the conditions, there can be some else condition like not eligible for promotion or something, right? So in this one, I'm checking the first condition. If that is not true, I'm checking the second condition. If even that is not true, I'm going into the else section and I will do print, and suppose I will make it no. Okay. So in this case, it will check the value of name, which is not true, of course. It will go into the else if, and this condition is true. So we are expecting that this should be printed. Let's do that. And you can see this. Of course, yes. So this is very simple concept. I know that it's very basic, but we should be very much clear about if, else, all these things. It's very, very important to do that. And Python is completely driven by your indentation. It's very important to provide proper indentation. If you provide something out of indentation, that won't be part of your else section. For example, if I will put one more line here, I will do print, okay, and I will give anything like this one. So now it will not be printed. Why? Because my condition age is equal to 32 is true, and it will never go into else section. So this hash will not be printed. Let's check this out. You see that. Welcome to Python programming, and of course, yes is printed. This hash is not printed. Why? Because these two print lines are part of this else, and this is identified with the help of indentation only. If I will move this print line just back like this one. What do you think now? This time this hash will be printed because this print line has nothing to do with your if else. It is altogether independent, altogether separate. Let's check this out. You see that hash is printed now. So this is very important in Python. Although Python is very easy to read, because as we discussed yesterday, we don't provide any opening bracket or closing bracket, or you can say semicolon and all, but that can create some confusion as well. Only the indentation will decide what exactly is part of which block. Some line is part of while condition, some line is part of for loop, or in this case if else. This all depends upon the indentation. In this case, as I discussed, like this print line has nothing to do with this else. It's altogether different. And if I will press one tab, it's again part of this else. It will not print now. You see this, not printed. Okay. If I will change the value here, let's make it 30. Then it will display no, and it will display hash also. You see that it is displaying no as well as it's printing the hashes. Okay. This is all about if and else. Any question on this? Yes, one.
No, Neeraj, clear it is.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one. The next one we have is logical operators. Okay, that's good. So logical operators are used when you want to combine multiple conditions. Right now we used equal to, but always equal to is not used. There can be not equal to, there can be less than, there can be greater than, something can be there, right? So let me delete all these things and we'll talk about some other conditions. So instead of equal to, suppose I want to find out whether my name starts with dot starts with. I want to check whether my name starts with KU. And that's true, right? Because Kumar is starting with KU. So I'm putting a condition, name dot starts with KU. If yes, print yes. Okay, let's check it out, what it will do. What is the mistake? Oh, I understood. This bracket is only for this function. I need to close one more bracket. Yeah, now correct. See that it's displaying yes. If I will put something else, it will not print anything because there is no else. So it will not print anything. You see that? Only this line, welcome to Python programming. That's this line, right? It's printing. This condition is not true. That's why it's not printing yes. So this is one example. There can be another example, like you can put or condition and condition. Let's put one more condition here. So name dot starts with NE, that's one condition. Another condition I will put or. I will say age is greater than 30. Okay, that's good. So out of these two conditions, if any condition will match, then it will print yes. And in this case, at least this condition is matching because the value of age is greater than 30. So this time it should print yes. See that? This is or condition, right? If you will put and condition, it will not display. And means this condition and this condition, both conditions should be true. Then only it will print yes, otherwise it will not. So the first condition itself is failing because my name does not starts with any. That means this will not print yes. So let's try. You can see that it's not printing. So this is example of using AND operator, OR operator, and one more operator is there, not equal to. Let me show you that also. So if you want to put a not in front of everything, you can do that not, and then put this condition like this. That means it will evaluate first the internal part, and then it will do reverse of that. So name dot starts with any and age greater than 30. This condition is false. This condition is true. and there is an AND operator. So ultimate the result is false. But after false, I am again changing it. I'm doing the reverse. I'm changing the false into true. That means now it will display yes. You see that? So you can think of any scenarios, like for example, you are saying that if any directory contains any subdirectory, then you won't be doing any further operation, because that directory itself is disqualified. Because maybe there is some condition that the directory should contain only files, then only you will process the data. If the directory contains any single subdirectory, then you will not process. So maybe what you will do is you will first find out whether any directory is there or not. If yes, then you will revert that result, and finally you will not process any data. It depends upon the requirement. So in this case, I am evaluating one condition, I am evaluating another condition, I am doing the AND of that, and finally whatever is my result, I am converting it. I mean, I am reversing it. If I will make it KU, okay, in this case, name starts with KU, yes, that's true. Age is greater than 30, even that is true. And there is an AND operator, that means true, and true means true only. But finally I am reversing it. So overall result is false. That means yes will not be printed. If I will put else, then that will be printed. So I will put print and I will put no. Okay, like this. Yes, let's see what it will do. You see that. Welcome to Python programming. It's displaying no. So this is all about logical operators. So in case you are having any doubt till this point, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll be moving to the next thing. Any doubt from your side, Sahil?
No, Neeraj.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one. Okay, usually we take a variable for holding some value. Like I take name is equal to Kumar. Suppose there are 100 students in a class and I need to hold their names. What should I do? Shall I declare 100 variables like name is equal to Neeraj, name 1 is equal to Neeraj, name 2 is equal to Sahil, name 3 is equal to Fortune, like that? That's not a good idea, right? And not only 100, there can be 10,000. So whenever you have similar type of things but multiple, you can take an array, and this concept is applicable to any programming language. It's C, C++, Node.js, Java, Python, everything. How to declare a array? So instead of name, I will do names is equal to, in the square bracket, you can provide multiple values. So I will start with my name, Neeraj. Sahil, Fortune, Srikanth. Okay. So this way I have declared a few names. The benefit is the variable name is single only, names. This is holding all the values. It can have 4 or 400 or 4,000. It can hold that. Now, how to access it? Suppose I want to access Sahil. What should I do? So this is indexed value, and any programming language, they start the counting from 0. That means this value Neeraj is stored at 0th location, 0th index. The next is stored at first index, second index, third index. Let's try that. What I will do is I will print, and what I will do is names, that's my array name, square bracket, give the index, I will give 1. Okay, 1 does not mean that it will display Neeraj. No, it will display Sahil, because counting starts from 0. So I will execute my program, and you can see that it's displaying Sahil. If you will try to access something beyond the range, because the range is 0, 1, 2, 3, the maximum is 3 only. If I will try 5, what will happen? it will fail. See that, list index out of range. That means you are trying to access that index which is not available. Okay, so this is one example, like how to access the value. Let's talk about something else. Suppose you want to find out the length of this array. Suppose you don't know how many elements are there. There's a function len, length. Okay, and you can display the length of the array like this. What I will do is I will put some hard coded stuff so that we know what exactly it's printing. I will say array size. Okay, array size. Let's execute now. Okay, so array size is basically integer, and yesterday we talked about, right, you cannot concatenate string and integer. You need to convert this integer into string. So put str and one more bracket. Yes, this time it should print. You can see that array size is 4. There are 4 elements. You can perform few more operations. For suppose you want to sort this array, right? So how to sort it? You can do names dot sort. That's all. Your names is sorted now. So let's do one thing. We'll print the entire names before and after. Okay, so I will print here and I will say before sorting, and then I will put names. Okay, the names is not string, it's like it's a list or it's an array, right? So it will not print, it will give an error. I will show you. You see that can only concatenate string, not list. So the same way we will convert it into string. Just put like this. Okay, so before sorting it will display my array, then I will sort it, and then I will again display it after sorting. Let's execute now. Can you see my screen? Sahil, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes,
you.
Neeraj.
Okay, thank you. I think there was some interruption. Okay, so I'm printing the array before sorting and I'm printing the array after sorting. So what I will do is I will execute my program and let's see the output. Okay, before sorting, whatever the original sequence, Neeraj, Sahil, Fortune, Srikanth, and after sorting, Fortune is coming first because starting with F, then Neeraj, then Sahil, then Srikanth, right? So this way you can sort. I think there is some other function as well, like reverse. Let's try that also. Reverse is there, yes. What it will do is it will reverse your array. This is original sequence and this is after reversing. You see this, Neeraj, Sahil, Fortune, Srikanth is the original sequence, and then Srikanth, Fortune, Sahil, Neeraj, that's the reverse sequence. So it depends upon your requirement. You may be find out ranking of something and then suddenly you want to reverse it, right? You want to sort some marks, some performance, some other statistics, right? So you should be aware that you can play around array in a different manner, and these are only 2 examples I have given. Like we can find the length of the array, we can do the sorting of the array, we can even reverse the array, but there are many more functions available for array which can be explored and used as and when required. Okay, so this is about single one-dimensional array. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will talk about 2-dimensional array. Okay, so two-dimensional array is like array of array. Right now, this array names, what was that? It was collection of names, collection of strings. But two-dimensional array is collection of small arrays. I will show you. So I will put detail is equal to, I will provide some detail like name, Neeraj. Okay, next detail is suppose is 32, and next detail is suppose your technology AWS. This is one-dimensional array because my first detail is name, second detail is age, third detail is technology. But I want to maintain similar details for multiple people. That means array of array. So I will put one more opening bracket and one more closing bracket. Okay, and now the middle part, this I can have multiple. I will put comma, and to make it easy to understand, I am putting into multiple lines. Okay, to make it more readable, you can put in a single line also. Like this. You try to understand now. This is array of array because this internal part is collection of strings and the outer part is collection of arrays. So this is two-dimensional array. Let's change the value. Okay, now how to access the value? Just like for single one-dimensional array, we were using indexes, right? Here there are two indexes. One is like you can say your row-wise index. One is your column-wise index. So if I will print, let's try to print this. We'll come to one. We'll understand. So if I will print details, and then I will print 1, what it should display? I want to access 1 means second element, right? I want to access second element from this array. Second element is this one, the complete array. So it will display this Sahil 32 Java. Let's try that. See this one, Sahil 32 Java, because I am accessing that one. If you want to further drill down and further break it, suppose I want to just know what's the technology of Sahil. That means second row and third column. Second row means first index and third column means second index. I hope you understand what I am saying because this is zero based. So I have put 1 and 2, but ultimately that means second row and third column. I'm expecting that it should display Java. Okay, let's try that. You can see that it's displaying Java. You want to try something else? Let's try that. I will reverse it. 2 and 1. Can someone tell me what should it display? Any idea? Something is wrong with my terminal. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to access 2 means third row, this one, and first index, that means second column, this one 35. So this should display 35. Let's check it out. See that. So in this one, second row, third column, this one third row, second column, the value is different. This way you can play around two-dimensional array, and not only two-dimensional. If you want, you can even play around three-dimensional array. So you can do that as well, but it would be, you have to visualize like one-dimensional is like a line, single line, right? And two-dimensional is like a page, right? And three-dimensional is like a box, like that. So you need to visualize accordingly, and you can play around the arrays. One more thing you can do is, suppose you want to iterate over array. So for loop you can use, and you don't need to know like how many elements are there. That's not required. It's very easy. You will do 4. I will give detail in details. This one should be your some array, the right side part. This one you can use anything, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, anything. Let me make it like A. Even that is correct. For A in details, that means any element in this one, in this array, it will do something for it. I will do print, and I will say, I will put some hard code like this. And what I will do is I will do A and I will do 0. Can someone tell me what will be printed? Srikant, any idea what should be printed? Hello, are you guys there? Srikant, you are on mute. Sahil, can you tell me what should be printed? Can you guys hear me? Is there anyone?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm expecting is for every single element, I'm doing the first index. That means I'm expecting that Neeraj, Sahil, and Kumar should be printed. So let's execute our program, and you see this one. Neeraj, Sahil, and Kumar. The first thing is printed. So you can use a for loop on top of an array. You don't need to specify like what's the range and how many times it should iterate. That's not required. It will automatically understand depending upon the number of elements in that array. In this case, since this outer array has 3 elements, so it will go 3 times. So this way you can do array. So this is all about 1-dimensional and 2-dimensional array. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll be moving for the next element in the programming. And what is that? Let me quickly check. That is string functions. Okay, let's quickly tell you about string functions. So string function, we talked one string function, right? Let me do name is equal to, I will give some space, Neeraj, and one more space, right? So many things you can do. If you will print Neeraj directly, it will print as it is, I mean with spaces. Print name, right? And it will display Neeraj with space. You notice that there is space in the beginning and there is a space after the name also. But if you want to remove that space, you can use a method strip like this. This will remove your front and back spaces. It will, this time it should print you can see that there is no leading and trailing space. So this is one example. Another example we talked about is like we said, like you can do starts with, you can check ends with, you can check the length and all this thing you can do. One more thing is this split. If you want to split any string based upon something, let me make something else. I will give Neeraj, then colon 32 colon AWS. Okay, this is not array. Don't think that it's an array. It's a string only. It's only one value. But you want to convert this string into an array so that you can play on individual component, individual element. So what you can do is you can say name underscore array, give some name, and you can split this dot split based upon what? Based upon colon like this. And then this will be converting into an array. If you want, you can try printing the array. So I will print this one. And then you see this. Your string has been suppleted based upon some character and converted into an array. And once your array is available, after that, whatever you want to do, you want to reverse it, you want to count something, you want to do some operation on that, you can do very easily. Yeah. So this is about like how to use string functions. There are many more, starts with, ends with, and length you can find, you can do concatenate, you can do split, you can do all these things. Okay, that's all about string functions. And moving to the last topic for today, that is dictionary. Dictionary is nothing but a collection of key value pairs. So let me delete this and I will give the name like details is equal to, you have to provide curly brackets. Okay, and in the curly brackets you will provide key value pair. I will say name colon value, that is Neeraj. Okay, and if you want to provide more value, put comma, again another key value pair, suppose is 32. This way you can define a dictionary. This is known as dictionary. Now based upon the key you can find the value. Array was index based, 0 1 2 3 4 5. This is key based. You will provide the key, it will return you the value. So if you want to get the name, what you do is you print and you do details in the square bracket. Instead of 0 1 2 3 5, you will give the key. I will give name, it will display my name. You see that Neeraj. If you want to display the age, then you should provide age here. You see that, and you can add more values as well. Suppose you want to, this is the first, I mean you are declaring the details and you added 2 values, but later you want to put more values. Suppose you are connecting to database and then you want to put more value, suppose technology, right, and the value is AWS. So this key value pair, technology AWS, this will be added to your details dictionary. If you want to access that, you can try like this, and you see that it will display AWS. You can see now. So this way you can add, you can declare a dictionary with some key value pairs. Later on you can add more key value pairs and you can access those details as and when required. So this is all about how to use dictionary in Python. And with this slide, we are done with the basic concept of Python programming. So when we will work on PySpark, all these concepts will be used. That means you should be aware about for loop, while loop, array, one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, dictionary, all these things. These things will be very, you can say, very useful while processing your data using PySpark. So we are done with today's class. In case you are having any doubt, you can ask me.